Okay, time to start recording. Wait, is that a hair strand on the lens? Guess not. Oh, hey, I, Zach Wolf, felt like showing off an interesting little gadget, my arsenal of electronic devices. But first, a little backstory. You may recall me talking about the high-speed connection protocol, officially known as IEEE 1394, aka FireWire or iLink. It was developed by Apple in the 1990s so it could transfer data at 400 megabits per second. And at that time, it was an amazingly fast feat. This was back when USB was in its early stages and only transferred at 12 megabits per second. And because of the way it could stream data, FireWire was a key component in digital video cameras using the mini DV format, allowing you to directly transfer your digital video footage off the tapes into your computer. Of course, most Macs in the 2000s had at least one FireWire port. Only some Windows PCs did. If you have a tower PC, that's no problem, because then you can just install a PCI FireWire card in the back. But with laptops and all-in-ones, it was more difficult. But Pinnacle Systems came out with a solution. This is their MovieBox 710 USB, made for 2006 to 2012, during the time Avid Systems owned Pinnacle Systems. It works via USB 2.0, which transfers data at 480 megabits per second, just a little faster than FireWire. And in addition to analog video in and out ports, you've got a 6-pin FireWire port here. In a way, it serves as a FireWire to USB conversion box, but it only really works with digital camcorders, and you have to have a USB 2.0 port or greater to make it work. And it even has device control, that nifty feature FireWire digital camcorders where you can control the camera playback via the video capture or editing software on your computer. Now, this wasn't the first such device Pinnacle Systems made that could do such a feat. Their first such attempt was the Pinnacle Movie Box Deluxe in 2004. It worked in a similar manner, requiring USB 2.0, but unlike the latter movie box I have, you had to use an external power supply, and it didn't support FireWire device control, meaning you had to use the playback controls in your camera, as if it were an older analog camcorder or VCR. Though alongside that, Pinnacle Systems did also make regular FireWire and USB 1 versions of the Movie Box, sold with the regular versions of Pinnacle's studio consumer editing software, compared to the Movie Box Deluxe, coming with the slightly more upscale Studio Plus version, giving you 2 video tracks, allowing for picture-in-picture and chroma key and similar compositing, pan and zoom for still images and such, and keyframe control for video and audio effects. This was back in 2004, when such features were rare to find in consumer video editing applications. Around that same time, Pinnacle also came out with the latest version of their Liquid Edition professional video editing software. This is what my college's video editing lab used in the mid to late 2000s before going all Apple. It also came with a higher-end version of their Movie Box Deluxe, also featuring a FireWire to USB 2.0 conversion, along with adding component video, 6-channel analog audio, and optical coax digital audio in and out support. You can see why Pinnacle Systems called it Liquid Edition Pro. In 2005, renowned nonlinear video and audio company Avid Technologies bought out Pinnacle Systems, trying to get into the consumer and hobbyist market. Pinnacle Liquid Edition was renamed Avid Liquid, but the USB capture box virtually stayed the same in the Pro package. On the consumer side of things, the Movie Box Deluxe was reworked a little, now called the 700 USB. It didn't need an external power supply anymore, and now it supported device control of its FireWire to USB protocol. At the same time, Avid and Pinnacle introduced a somewhat cheaper USB Movie Box device, the 500 USB. bundled with the regular, less capable version of the studio software, featuring only analog input, no output. But it's still offered that neat FireWire to USB option. Version 10 of Studio Plus also added high-definition support, left out the regular basic version of Studio. In 2006, the MovieBox devices gained a new look, including the 710 USB seen here. There was also the 510 USB, very much like this but white and with no analog inputs, simply called the MovieBox. This particular one I have here was the MovieBox Plus version when I got it in 2006. Since I needed a new analog video capture device for our new desktop PC at the time. The package it came in addition to the Studio Plus software and a few plug-in additions, it even included a good quality microphone and a green screen sheet. So in addition to upgrading my analog video capture, I even got a microphone upgrade as part of that. Also, in 2007, Pinnacle Systems came out with an even more upscale version of their studio editing software, Studio Ultimate, including some more advanced plugins. By this time, the 510 USB was now the new MovieBox Plus, coming with the Studio Plus version of the software. While the black 710 USB like mine was now branded as MovieBox Ultimate, and now came with the Studio Ultimate suite, along with the green screen sheet, but no microphone, like my package mine came in. A regular basic version of Studio would still be included with the somewhat cheaper Dazzle USB capture devices, which Pinnacle Systems acquired with buying Dazzle 2003. It remained this way for the rest of the MovieBox product's life, even when they were renamed Studio MovieBox HD and Studio MovieBox Ultimate Collection. Of course, in the software, you need a fairly hefty PC to run it, like I did. Several of my early YouTube poops and similar mashups or dubs actually made some version of Pinnacle's Studio Plus or Ultimate software, until I largely switched to a Mac. Anything else elaborate I did requiring more video and audio tracks, then I'd use Adobe Premiere Elements or Sony's Vegas Movie Studio. But in 2012, Avid sold Pinnacle Systems to Corel, and as part of it, they discontinued the MovieBox products, only leaving one of the Dazzle capture boxes on the market. The Studio software is now based on a prosumer product introduced the previous year, Avid Studio, kind of like a successor to the Liquid Edition software, also sold to Corel in this 2012 buyout. From this point on, the basic version of Pinnacle Studio will give you 6 audio-visual tracks, which is fine for getting started, while Studio Ultimate was completely identical to Avid Studio, down to including the unlimited video and audio tracks. Though to be fair, such a feat has become somewhat common in consumer video editing applications, like Cyberlink's Power Director, Wondershare's Filmora, Magic's Movie Edit Pro Studio, and even Microsoft's Clipchamp software bundled with Windows 11 and available as a free download for Windows 10 and up users. And now I will demonstrate this MovieBox device for you all. Now, I don't have Pinnacle Studio installed on my Windows machine here, which is a Dell Precision M6800, by the way, but I can still use it with other applications. This Dell is kind of too new to use FireWire, and it doesn't have Thunderbolt, so the MovieBox here is the way to go. Right. And also, this FireWire cable I'm about to use here actually came with the Pinnacle 710 USB MovieBox. Since Pinnacle Systems knew very few DV camcorders also included a FireWire cable in the box. It was more common to see these included with PCI FireWire cards or similar capture hardware, such as that MovieBox. Now to plug them in. Okay, now to turn the camcorder on. Look at that. HDD or DV right there. Now, for this demonstration, I'm just using Windows Movie Maker. The Vista version I actually installed here on Windows 11. Sure, it was still more limited than iMovie. Okay. Here we go, import from a digital video camera. Name the file I'll be capturing. Click next. Only import parts of the videotape to my camcorder computer. This is the device control I'm demonstrating, as I've said. Here we go. Now I press the play button. Start video import. Just a little footage of my model train layout I shot for this demonstration. So there's some parts of it there. Because of some reorganization, some parts of the basement are obstructing a little bit, which is why I didn't do a regular video on the train layout for the holiday season. But yeah, it even says DV out on the camcorder. Because FireWire does a steady continuous stream, while USB doesn't. I guess I can stop the import here. Now rewind the tape via the device control. Now I just go click finish. Yeah. My paws aren't really designed for using laptop trackpad, so I'm using a mouse. Oh, and there it is. The footage I captured. Ready to be edited. Now I'll show you how I could use this with other applications too. Error message. And it's just because this is a newer version of Windows. Now I will demonstrate with Cyberlink's Power Director. This is the editing software I nowadays use. I use this like for if I have to do anything on Windows. And it also comes in a Mac version. If I want to do something beyond what iMovie can handle, but I don't need Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro for it. Record. You gotta select record from webcam. Now it's initiating the DV device. And there it is. I better change the folder to my capture scratch disk to be safe. Alright. Again, device control works on this. The Mac version of Power Director does not support such capture though, anyways. The ability to port with DV tapes is kind of a dying breed feature, given how it's now kind of an obsolete format. Adobe Premiere Pro doesn't even support DV or HDV capture anymore. But fortunately, Final Cut Pro and iMovie still support it, as do some other popular Windows editing programs. To think, it's not even a real FireWire port or anything. It's all being successfully emulated via the Pinnacle 710 USB Movie Box. Of course, this is a pretty beefy machine. It's got an Intel Core i7 processor and 32 gigabytes of RAM and dedicated graphics, so that's probably why, big reason why the capture's going so smoothly. Alright, I guess that's enough for now. Alright. Guess that wraps up this demonstration. Can you beat that? This is a pretty unique concept from back when DV and HDV camcorders were the norm and had the best quality home video format. In addition to Pinnacle, I know ADS Technologies also made a couple similar USB 2.0 capture devices that performed a similar FireWire conversion. They're instant DVD and DV with a 4-pin FireWire port alongside the analog connections, meaning it will play the DV stream but not provide extra power to the camcorder. They also had this as their instant DVD and MP3. It was designed for importing and exporting both analog video and audio for digitizing records and tapes, as well as importing DV footage with a 4-pin FireWire port. And it's not like these are premium deluxe products or anything, and ADS did make their own capture wizard software, but for editing the video and burning to disk, you'd use the included ULEAD Video Studio DVD Movie Factory software that ADS licensed. Also, ADS even made a full-blown FireWire video capture box, similar to Pinnacle's Movie Box DV, the Pyro AV Link, and so it was more expensive. It also initially came with ULEAD software, but soon they began to sell it with Adobe Premiere Elements, which, as I said, is like the consumer version of Premiere Pro, and back then it even let you work with 100 video and audio tracks. It didn't support analog capture through USB, but with a FireWire video capture box like the ADS Pyro AV Link or Pinnacle Movie Box DV, you can. Or if you have a mini DV camcorder that supports analog pass-through, like my Canon Vixia HV40 here, you can then use that as your analog to digital video converter. But the Pinnacle Movie Box 710 USB back then, I was able to capture DV footage into Premiere Elements using this before we got a real PCI FireWire card for the Dell PC me and my brother shared. After which I would just capture analog footage with this baby. In addition to Pinnacle Studio Plus and Ultimate software, as I showed you, it also works with other applications that support USB analog capture. Heck, it even worked great with Windows Movie Maker, specifically version 2 of Windows XP, as that was the only one to support analog video capture. This is handy if I want to just rip something from a VHS tape or making a YouTube poop or some other similar kind of mashup, like a commercially produced video cassette or a home recording off of television. But since I switched to a Mac, I rarely use the MovieBox device, but I still hold on to it just in case. Like I said, currently for digitizing analog video, if it's just a home movie or it's a home recording on VHS, then I use this aforementioned Canon Vixia HV40 mini DV camcorder with its analog pass-through mode, hooked up directly to the Mac via the FireWire cable, with the appropriate adapters if need be. But it won't work with commercially produced VHS cassettes. So for those, like if I'm making a YouTube poop of a Disney movie or a Goldbook video or something, I use my Sony the Sony DCR TRV 460 camcorder, also analog to digital pass-through. And this is a digital 8 camcorder, which, as I've spoken about before, can also play back analog video 8 and high 8 recordings. This way I've also been able to digitize my old high 8 home movie recordings from the early to mid 2000s. In fact, next week I'm going to start a little project for someone who hired me to digitize some old video 8 and high 8 tapes. And I should easily be able to use this. But it's too bad Apple discontinued this FireWire to Thunderbolt adapter here, because it still used the old mini display-esque Thunderbolt connection, or Thunderbolt 1 and 2. They also discontinued their similar Ethernet adapter for that reason. But who knows? Maybe a third-party company will make a FireWire to Thunderbolt 3 adapter or something. We don't have to like daisy-chain them like this. But of course, I don't really make videos on mini DV anymore, since my Canon Vixia HFR 600 has the convenience of recording onto memory cards, like this video. And I'll still keep making videos with that newer camcorder as long as you all keep watching them.